Hey, what's up guys, Jesse here from JPModified. We're about to start a project, a pretty big one. This has been in the making or in the works for I think a good close to 2 months now. Officially it was announced that we'd be able to do this before we left for Computex. Now we needed some time to compile all the parts. Some of the parts took quite a while to get here, most especially the water cooling parts that we got from EK. It got stuck in customs for quite some time, I think 3 weeks. And also some of the other parts though did come in early, but the last package from EK kind of got stuck in customs because the value was way over what a normal citizen is allowed to get without any, without processing any paperwork. Now what we're going to work on is this case right here. Just don't mind whatever I put at the top. I kind of ran out of space a few weeks ago. So this is the case that we'll be working on. This is the Lianli V3000. It's going to be quite a build to do. Now, other modders such as Justin Chu, Snef, or Stefan, and Stuart have already released their versions of the V3000. Now, those builds were pretty cool, really cool actually, and they're going to be a tall order to try to at least match. So we're going to try to do a different approach with ours. We're going to do a dual loop build. It's going to be carrying the some of the best hardware out there on the market today. We got a Strix 4090, we got an Asus Z790. We got the highest end Intel processor, and we got some Dominator RAMs going on. So yeah, it's quite a build that we're gonna need to do. We're gonna mill our own distro plates for this as usual. I got a lot of plans to probably put a distro here and another distro here and radiator here. I don't know actually. Right now it's still all vague. What I wanted to try, or what I want to do first, is put the fans on the radiators and then place them in. Put the water blocks on the processor and on the GPU first before I start to draw plans for what I want to do. Backplate's in, or the GPU's in. Perfect fit actually. Tomorrow I install the water block for the CPU and start installing the rads and figuring out the pump mounts. Ooh-wee, look at all these fans. It's probably about 20 plus fans here. Awesome. Oh God, been staring at this for about a good 4 hours now. My brain's still coming up dry. The plan is to put separate loops for the GPU and CP, yeah, I'm gonna put in a flat reservoir there or a distro plate, and then another one here. But in truth, my main problem is trying to make the tubes look uniform, you know, like a certain flow to each side. They would look, what do you call that, symmetrical, even though they're separate loops. So that's the target. And that's what I've been trying to figure out since 11 a.m. in the morning, and it's almost 3 o'clock. So here's a piece of cardboard I lasered according to the measurements I took, and these drawings there, dots and writings, are the measurements for where the location of the screws are, or I mean the ports are, and the dimensions of the cardboard itself. Good morning, it's the next day. I'm gonna start to CNC my stuff now. But before we begin, gotta have some breakfast. Yeah, I'm eating at my work table right now because I don't feel like going to the kitchen, so we got some bread, 2 eggs, and some coffee. Okay, so we're done machining the slots for the O-ring. This one won't take too long because I'm just, you know, milling channels. I'm not making a reservoir, so probably an hour, I guess. Alright, so this is the end mill I use for cutting the O-ring, the O-ring slot. It's a 2 mm round or ballpoint single flute end mill. Right now I'm going to replace it with the end mill I used to dig out the channel, which is a 4 mm 3 flute. Well, I think I'm going to have to oil my collet because it seems to be getting crunchy. Right now we're gonna mill the channel. Okay, so we're done milling the channel. Looks fine. A little bit of polishing, I guess. Since the water is going to go through it, I don't think it's going to make much difference at all if it's going to be extra shiny or not. But we'll see once we take it out of its protective film. We got AP cargo coming in. I think it's a package from Thermaltape. Drilling done. Now it's time to proceed with tapping of the M4 threads. Alright, so my touch probe kind of malfunctioned. It happens occasionally when the metal is down. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, sometimes it does that. So it's pushing the touch probe all the way through, which is not supposed to do that. I'm going to have to reset, clean the end mill. Alright, so it worked the second time. All I needed to do was just put some alcohol and clean this area here so it properly makes an electrical connection to the touch probe. I'm going to have to do a different, or change to a different kind of touch probe soon. One that kind of uses pressure instead of an electrical connection. So. tapping done. Now to the last tool path or tool run of the channel itself, which is a contour. We are able to remove this piece. So we're done. This is it. Came out okay. I'm just gonna need to clean this up a bit, but yeah, so far so good. So now, since we're done with that, we're gonna go off to mill the lid. We're done with the drilling. Now we're gonna bore the holes for the fittings. Make the channel as clean as possible. You don't want any of the acrylic from the machining to stay in the channels and get stuck somewhere in the loop. So also, you also want to make sure that the acrylic itself at the top, at least, is free from fingerprints and such, because if you plan on putting any type of RGB lighting in it, you are going to see the fingerprints behind them. We're done. Unfortunately, my camera ran out of batteries, so I couldn't take you know, a video of the whole assembly process. Now you may see some of those reflections showing some of my hand marks, but those can easily be wiped off because they're at the top. On the camera, if you can see it, it's pretty spotless under or inside, and then the rest I could just wipe off. Alright, so right now we're just gonna dry fit it, the piece or the distro plate. Most probably I'm just gonna use double-sided sticky tape to mount this. Since it's at the bottom, it really doesn't need much of a, you know, so it doesn't need to be supported that much, so double-sided sticky tape should be just fine. Okay, so I've managed to dry fit the bottom distro plate. As you can see, pretty straight. Now what I like to do is just put a pencil marking to, you know, where the distro plate is currently, so that I know where to put it back in when I actually put some double-sided tape at the bottom. Before I put the distro on, I'm gonna have to make a new panel for this. I don't want the holes to show like right there. Yeah, I'm gonna make a acrylic panel here. So far this is what we have. Looking pretty tight. Filled that space right there pretty cleanly or pretty evenly. Now my next step is to fill this area here. I still need to mill a flat reservoir there, so before I begin this area here, I'm gonna have to machine a reservoir at the back. So only two ports for the reservoir, I mean for the pump and for the return. Yeah, before I get started with this one, I'm gonna have to draw up the reservoir at the back. Okay, so that concludes part 1 of the video of my vlog for the V3000 case. Now, I've decided, or I've announced this on, I think, 2 videos ago, that I want to do a vlog type video, so at least I can, you know, interact with you guys a little bit more through the build process, instead of you just looking at me put in tubes. Hopefully trying to target a different way to, you know, approach you guys, so you can see, you know, you can have me talk or something like that while I do my work, so you are really behind the scenes of what goes on when I tackle a certain project. Now, I think this is enough for part 1. Part 2 will be, I guess, in a few days, just as long as I have enough footage for the second project. I mean, the second part of this video. But rest assured that you will be taken through the whole process while I build this project. It's again the Lianli V3000 case. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please stay tuned for the next one. The next one's gonna be good too. Mod on.